Good evening and welcome back to our Rex Fuels channel, where we discuss issues and trends facing the oil and gas industry. If you're new to the channel, kindly like, subscribe, and share to stay up to date with the current trends. We have with us today Pranav Kant, a veteran in the oil and gas sector and an expert on strategy and marketing. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you here, sir.
Absolutely the same here.
My first question today to you is crude prices remain stable after 3 weeks of consecutive falls. Do you think the market is expecting a bigger crude cut by OPEC plus this time?
Good question. And first, technically, this week, the prices actually went up by about 2%, more or less. So technically, it's not the third week of fall, but it kind of arrested the fall. Now, the reasons behind it, will go there in a bit, and then the price correction, whether it's likely to continue or not. Now, we need to go back to the October 5th cut in the production quotas announced by the OPEC Plus of 2 million barrels per day. Now we are minutes away from the conclusion of ongoing OPEC Plus meet. So the market is awaiting the news on that. But the interesting point is this. Against the production quota cut of 2 million barrels per day, the OPEC 13 cut in the actual production was 710,000 barrels, while Russia, which is part of the OPEC Plus, increased its production to a near all-time high. So for overall OPEC Plus, the production actually went up. So that brings us to the point that market continues to be oversupplied because the demand side is not looking good for all the reasons we have been discussing in the recent week and recent months. So markets oversupplied, production really looking good, and all the production centers are doing pretty fine with not an iota of concern from anywhere. Matter of fact, it is one of the best times for the producer with no real risk or constraint inside. What they are concerned about is the decline in the growth forecast and demand. So overall, here we are, the markets are looking good, and in effect, the prices are going to be looking down. And we say looking down, we are maintaining a very bearish call on the upcoming 1 week and 2 week. We believe we could be seeing a price decline on the Brent of $10 or more in the next 2 weeks.
Well, at least in the production side, the market looks pretty positive.
Yes.
My second question to you is, what would be the effect of price cap of $60 by the EU and G7 on the crude markets?
Yeah, that's very, very interesting because here is a situation that the markets are in uncharted waters. People have not seen this kind of price cap being discussed, leave alone being implemented. While Russia has clearly mentioned that they are not going to be supplying anything under the price cap, but markets have its own way and mechanism to work around things. While the EU has agreed to a price cap of, say, $60 per barrel, so that's the kind of broad agreement. But that agreement, we need to be keeping in mind, it's valid for 2 months and it could come up for review and correction. And if the market price outside of the cap remains, say, notionally $80 and the price cap is 60, there is no way the market is going to allow that $60 to remain at $60. People, the traders, the market players would find a way to work out a mechanism to make trade and deals happen in a price point which is between the price cap and the actual market price. So between 80 to 60, it could be anywhere 65, 70, 75, depending on the kind of negotiation leverage the individual buyer has. So we do not really think that the price cap is going to get implemented in the manner that most people assume it to be, at least on paper. So it would be little more than what the price cap is. But more importantly, here's the thing. It is a categorical bearish trend for the market because the price floor has been set in terms of the ideal floor, while the actual market would be closer to 80, 85. So we'll need to see, but that also fuels our bearish outlook for the market in the coming weeks.
It does look a little unpredictable from what I can see.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's very interesting.
But we can see it going in only one direction, which is down.
Well, thank you so much for your insight and thank you for being here today.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure as always.
Pleasure is all mine. And thank you all for watching. Continue to show support to the channel by liking and subscribing. See you soon.